You mentioned when you were first talking about what's top of mind, you talked about the holidays, and I'm glad that came up because here we are. I'm actually going to, because we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to be on a little bit of a best of hiatus for a few weeks. After next week, I will drop this next week. But the holidays are hard, man. I
Yeah.
have struggled with the holidays since I was a kid. There's so much expectation. There's so much pressure from society to be happy and do this. And I just talked to someone I've been talking to about setting up a Christmas tree, and I'm like, I'm not setting up a Christmas tree for me and the dog. Like, it's fine. It's too much work. One, two. It's like sometimes the holidays are a reminder that my holidays aren't really what I would like them to be. And so, what I want to ask you is, what is your holiday experience like, and how do you, if you have to, maybe they're great, I don't really know, but like, what are your holiday experiences like, and what are some of the mechanisms you use to kind of get through them, for lack of a better word?
No, it's a great question. Quite honestly, myself, who I am as a human being, I'm a bit of a Grinch when it comes to the holidays. Like, I agree with everything you said. Like, there's a lot of like false expectations that people have around the holidays. I think, I think about my life, and I look back on things, and I realize that so much of like what made the holiday special was the people you were with. But then like sometimes like life isn't that simple. It's like you want to have that hallmark moment with your family or your friends or any of those things, but all the things that led up to Christmas Day maybe weren't always the greatest. And you have to now fake it for this one moment. And I've just never been. And then I think a little bit also for me, for like a very long time, like work wise, I worked in jobs where like Christmas and holidays were like our busiest time.
I know.
So
how it is for me right now. I'm like, I feel like everyone's ramping down, and somehow at my work we're ramping up.
yeah. Oh yeah. It was it was crazy. And so it's like, so I have this like almost negative feeling, negative connotation that comes with like when you say holiday, I'm like, ooh. And whereas where it's funny for me is like my wife is the biggest Christmas lover. Like, she loves Christmas, cannot get enough of it. And so it's put us at odds at times where it's like, I just don't have the same enthusiasm. So basically for her, from Halloween to Christmas is like Super Bowl. She never wants to spend money on anything. She will spend money on decorations. She wants to decorate the house. She wants to get involved. She wants to do all the things. And like deep down in my core, I could not possibly care less.
But do you find any value, and I'm not trying to get you in trouble with this question, but do you find any value in, or I shouldn't say value, do you find any joy in seeing how happy it makes her?
That's exactly what it comes down to. It's like, while I personally don't find the same value in it that way, and maybe one day I'll get there. Maybe if we have kids or something, I can see the magic. I already get a little bit of that with, like, we have nephews. We have 3 nephews, and they're amazing. And seeing like the lights in their eyes glow when they see a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get where some of the magic comes from. But yeah, that's what it is for me. Is with her is like, I love how excited she gets. So it doesn't matter what my opinion is. Right before shooting this, I'm not even joking. Right before, I was walking into my office and I said, "Hey, we haven't watched any Christmas movies yet so far this year. We just haven't done it yet."
She's like, "I thought you'd never ask. I've got a whole queue of Hallmark movies."
I was like, "Hey, whatever you want to," because we've been knee deep in a handful of shows that we're behind on, and I was like, "Hey, tonight we can pause that. Let's watch a Christmas movie. Whatever you want. If it's Christmas Vacation or it's this is the hot take of the episode. I cannot stand the movie Elf.
Oh, I can't either. I can't stand that movie.
I find, and I actually like enjoy a lot of Will Ferrell comedies, but like that one to me is like nails on a chalkboard, and she cannot get enough of it.
Oh,
but
my goodness.
But I'm like, hey, you love it. That's what matters. Like, I will be a good sport and I will support this because there are plenty of things that I do that you could not care less about. It's part of being in a good relationship. Like you got to
Yeah.
find ways to support each other.
Yeah, I think so too. I've always found like there's, when I'm with someone that likes different things, I always find myself enjoying seeing them so happy about it.
Right.
Where it's kind of like, you know what, this ain't so bad. I can do this because look at the joy and the happiness that it brings her. So I think it's good I don't know that a lot of people have the emotional wherewithal or intelligence to be able to do something like that too.
Well,
Especially men. We can be very stubborn.
Well, not just stubborn, we're also self-absorbed. Like we're so focused on like what drives us that we don't think about the people around us in the moment to go, hey, yeah, this may not bring me joy, but it's going to bring a handful of people joy. Maybe that's worthwhile. Maybe maybe it's not always about me. I know, hot take, but maybe it's not always about me, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think part of it is just people don't. You know what? It always blows me away sometimes. It always blows me away sometimes. It always blows me away when I see, from an outside perspective, these kinds of things, but in a relationship, not working, where it is like you've been married to a guy and he watches football every Sunday all day. And after like 10 years, you're still mad at him for watching football every Sunday all day. And it's like, where's the discussion about why this is such a problem and why this is still a problem and why this is a need for him and why you need to do something else? And why can't you just talk and maybe you watch one football game and then you go on a walk or whatever the heck else you can do, right? But like a lot of people, I don't think have that emotional intelligence or communication skills or ability to see another person's perspective. I think a lot of relationships just could benefit from that. Just little simple things like, I'm going to watch this Christmas movie with you. In fact, I'm going to volunteer the idea because I know it's going to make you happy and it's going to be good for our relationship.
And it's not like, because like some people can hear that and take that the wrong way and go like, oh, well, you're like, giving up your thing. It's like, no, like
compromising.
Take Christmas movies out of it for a second. So as a perfect example, my wife and I am the textbook definition of an extrovert. Not just in that I'm talkative and outspoken, but like I draw my energy from being around people.
Mm-hmm.
I just do. It is innate. It's inside of me. My wife has an extroverted type job. She works in HR and she's around people all day, but that drains her battery deeply. And so we constantly are kind of at odds when it comes to our life, where it's like, I want to go do things and she wants to stay home and recharge her battery. And we kept trying to like find this balance of like, what do I do? What do I like, I want to do this, but you want to stay home. I don't want to disappoint you. You don't want to disappoint me. And so we found a good compromise of like, sometimes we go out and do stuff and sometimes we stay home, maybe when I would want to go out, but we were still kind of at odds. And so I think another important lesson that I think for relationships is like, it's also okay to do things independently.
Yes.
So for me, like, that's me. Monday nights, I'm known at Brighter Days Brewing in Tarpon Springs. I am Monday Will, and I bartend at Brighter Days Brewing, and that is me. I go there as soon as I can get off my day job, and I go and I bartend, and I'm social. I get to be around people, and guess what? Not only does my wife get to be at home, she gets to be at home and doesn't have to talk to me. She can talk to no one. She can say no words for 7 hours.
And I know we talked about this introvert extrovert thing when I was on your show, but the thought of going out on a Monday after the weekend is ludicrous. Like you're out of your mind to go work at a bar on a Monday night after a weekend.
I could do it every single day. I really could. I mean, I will say as I get a little older, I do start to enjoy a little bit of me time. But at the end of the day, like that's what I'm saying. Like I draw energy from that. Like it's a great way for me to start my week. It's like, oh, I did work and I was like, okay, that was, there's a lot going on there, but now I get to be around people and I get to see my regulars. Hey, how are you doing over here? It's great. I love it. And to be fair, like it's a brewery. We close at 9. It's not deep. Like I'm usually out of there by 9:30.
That's a lot. That's so much to like the Monday nights. I'm like melted into the couch the moment I'm done with work. Thank you for listening to this clip from the full episode of Eyes Wide Open. Please like and subscribe for daily clips and new episodes that drop every Tuesday. I appreciate you.